Hey Pisces, how's it going? So, I got a very Piscean thing in my meditation today. Someone wringing out some wet socks. I just saw a man wringing out some cold, wet socks. The socks were either dark gray or black in color. And I had the sensation of having cold, wet, clammy feet. Now, of course, Pisces rules the feet. Pisces is a water sign, so there's nothing more Piscean than wet socks. And, having wet socks can be very dangerous depending on where you are and the weather and things of that nature. It's not good. You always got to have a clean and dry pair of socks with you, wherever you are. Also, wet socks could symbolize like moving forward with too much emotionality. Like water, cold water is like symbolic of emotions, like sad emotions that we don't necessarily need in excess. Of course, we should all feel sadness when it's appropriate and grieve appropriately and things like that, but walking forward, carrying our grief with us is like walking forward wearing wet socks. It's not healthy past a certain point, and you got to wring out those wet socks and dry your feet. But that could have some other significance to you if my interpretation seems off. It was just a guy wringing out some wet socks. And I pulled an itching hexagram for you, and I got hexagram 23, bow, or falling away, and it changes to hexagram 35, proceeding forward. So here we have the elements of mountain above earth. Now, mountain over earth, this is like an eroded mountain. A landslide occurred. This is falling away. This is a declining situation. This is, it could be a positive thing, as in space being cleared so that something new can be built. Old habits dying off, getting rid of them, getting rid of old ways that no longer serve you, and allowing new things to replace them. So it's important that whatever new things are put into your life, we have to pay attention to what they are. We don't want to plant bad seeds. We want to make sure that these things are good, because this changing line, falling away, changing to proceeding forward, it's a pretty bad situation. I'm not gonna lie. Having this fourth line here, the changing line, it's like yin energy has overwhelmed the yang energy, and this falling apart is going to happen very, very quickly, probably suddenly, and almost probably totally and completely. There's going to be like a falling apart of something, like a complete change. And this could be a good thing. This could be a situation that you've been trying to allow to fall apart. And it's gonna come and clear up your schedule, clear out your life, clear out an old room that you can build something new in now. It could be like falling away of relationships as well. That's often indicated by this hexagram here. And like you're being asked to really make a change now, like to do something either about this falling apart or with this falling apart, or to get through the falling apart or something. You can't just sit on your hands at this point, because then this falling apart will bring misfortune to you. But if you stay strong and centered while this is happening, and you make a choice and you do something, you take this energy and you do something with it at this time, it can bring good fortune. So as long as you're not just sitting dumbfounded on your hands, something good can come of it. Because attaching this to that image I had of someone wringing out cold, wet socks, after I pulled this hexagram, I thought about the early stages of the Bolshevik Revolution in Russia in 1918, after the Tsar and his family were murdered by the Bolshevik revolutionaries. A man named Alexander Kolchak declared himself the supreme ruler of Russia, and he was the leader of what was known as the White Russian Army, and he was trying to restore Imperial Russia and suppress the Bolshevik Revolution. And he had the support of the Americans and the French and some Czechs and maybe some Swiss, or not Swiss, Swedish. Sorry, the Swiss never get involved in these things. I can't remember who, but he had like a foreign legion with him amongst, obviously, Slavs, the Russians and Ukrainians and others who sided with him. And during the winter, one of his closest friends and best generals fell into a lake, and his clothes got soaked, and they're in the middle of the wilderness, and they did their best for him, but he died. And some historians believe that when this general died, Alexander became kind of depressed, and his resolve weakened, and of course he was on the Trans-Siberian Railroad heading east because he needed to liberate a particular city from the Bolsheviks, and if he could liberate this city, he would have a headquarters from which to really dig in, and he would have had a chance of defeating the Bolsheviks. But the train never made it. He never made it. He was arrested. The French and Americans left. The Czechs left. Well, actually, most of the Americans died fighting. And it was a freaking disaster. And then, of course, we have the next, 70 plus years of the Soviet Union. And that was a serious, Hexagram 23 moment, the falling apart and proceeding forward. I think of that. I know it sounds so tragic, and it really is. And I'm not trying to scare you or make you feel bad or anything like that. But when things fall apart, we need to keep our wits about us, and we need to stay emotionally centered. Because if we lose morale, everyone around us loses it too. I don't know, you probably, if you're a Pisces watching this, or if you have strong Pisces in your chart, you've probably had this experience where you kind of control the vibe of a room. Like, what you feel, everyone else will start to feel. I don't know if you've ever gone to school or something in the classroom, or gone to work, and if you bring a certain mood with you, everybody else starts to feel that same mood. Because Pisces kind of radiate out and can control other people's feelings, especially people who are not self-aware, in possession of their own feelings, can't regulate their own feelings. They will just be dominated by the Pisces energy. Pisces tends to dominate a room with their emotions. And your mood as a Pisces can make or break a situation. And if you're in a situation that is kind of dire and everything's sort of falling apart, you can choose to have a good mood and a good attitude despite the fact that it's all going to shit. And that can make a huge difference. Everyone can rally around you, and the whole falling apart then just feels like a natural thing that was supposed to happen. You can turn it into an opportunity instead of a crisis, and you can really turn the whole situation around. And just make sure you try to prevent yourself from getting mopey, and indulging too much in your sadness, and try at this time to really, really control your emotions and set a good example of emotional control. And you can set the mood in this group or within yourself or in this dynamic. You can really just choose what the dynamic will feel like, and that will determine the direction that you go and how you get through this falling apart situation. Sorry for the heavy, tragic story, but let's develop this further. I'm gonna spin a coin. It's gonna land on one of these 24 symbols here, one of these aspects of reality. And we're gonna focus on that part of your life, pull some cards on it, and develop this reading. So what does Pisces need to know, Oracle? What does Pisces need to know? It's not pointing at anything, it's pointing at me. Actually, it's pointing at the concubine. Now I use the word concubine in the traditional sense, as in like a true lover, someone who has unconditional love for you, or someone who you trust implicitly. It doesn't have to be romantic. It can be someone who has your ear or you have their ear. They give really, really good advice, this person usually. They know you, they understand you very well on a deep, deep level and can offer you good advice. Or maybe it's you and you can offer someone good advice with whom you're very close, with someone that you know very, very well. All right, so what does Pisces need to know? Falling away, the concubine. We have the Eight of Cups. Now, this deck is interesting because some of these cards have little words on them, where like normally this would just say like the Eight of Cups. Here this says abandoned success. So maybe there is a situation that you were persuaded to walk away from. You may have been working on something very, very hard, trying to bring something about. You had a goal, you had an ambition, and then some piece of news came from a person that you trust and recommended that you give up on this goal, even though you were close to success, or maybe you did succeed. And this person that you like, for better or worse, told you to walk away from it. Now, for some of you, this could have been you were seduced by someone to abandon something that was good for you. Because in the negative aspect, the concubine can be like a temptress, a seductress, or a seducer, a tempter, who can draw you away from your real ambitions. Normally that's not the case, but this is kind of a dark-ass reading. I'm so sorry, but I just want to help. If this isn't resonating with you, don't make it fit. I don't want you to be living a tragic life. But for those of you who this does resonate with, I'm trying to let you see some potholes in your road right now. And I'm just trying to help. So maybe somebody tempted you off of a path, and now that success that you had is like falling apart, and it's probably going to be obliterated. It's probably like, it might be too late to fix it or to go back to it. You probably have to move on and do something new. For some of you, you might be able to go back and fix it, but let's find out. I'm going to pull another card for you. But yeah, there's pride just dropped right out there. Superbia, pride. Now we have an image of a vase here, like a copper plate with a sapphire maybe embedded in it, or like a piece of burnished copper that was allowed to turn blue. That was like allowed to rust for the sake of artistry. But here we have pride mixed with abandoned success. The Eight of Cups, I should say, on the concubine. So, this is a tough nut to crack. Maybe you got in your own way here. Maybe someone that you trusted tried to give you some good advice and you didn't listen. and it fell apart. Maybe they did have some good advice, you didn't follow it, and things are kind of in a bad way now. And you kind of just have to walk away from it. Or maybe they walked away from you. Whew. This is not easy, Pisces. Or maybe someone gave you bad advice because they were proud of something, or they were dealing with pride. Oh, this is a tough one. I'm actually going to pull another tarot card because I'm having trouble bringing this together. Clarify this for me, Oracle, please. Pride, the Eight of Cups, the concubine falling apart. We have the Queen of Pentacles. So this is like some pretty heavy Capricorn energy, some Sagittarius energy. So yeah, this seems like a business partner that was very proud of something and perhaps made a misstep This could be you, this could be someone you're working with. I can't tell. I can't tell like who's the concubine and who's the you know, the one who received the bad advice, the one who gave the, or good advice. Man. So the Queen of Pentacles, generally, she has good advice. She has sound knowledge. She's stable. She's not erratic. She knows how to call upon her resources and use them correctly. So I think here we have, you've got yourself like a safety net. Like, I don't want to use the word golden parachute, but when I think of Queen of Pentacles, I think of like golden parachute, you know, like the wealthy elite and financiers will give themselves golden parachutes so that they can survive the economic catastrophes that they themselves create. You know what I mean? The thieves of the ruling elite that we have to deal with. So it could be that like there are resources available to you even when this thing is falling apart. You did something that was smart for yourself. You set something aside for yourself just in case this happened. And those could just be something like spiritual resources. It could literally be financial resources. But yeah, you're not going to hit rock bottom here, but you do have to walk away from something, or you are walking away from something either forced to or by choice. But it's probably for the best. And you were probably very proud of this thing that you built and developed. And it's sad, and you're probably carrying a lot of sadness with you as you walk away from it. But you gotta just wring out your socks and hang them up by the fireplace, and just call upon the resources you have and start something new. You just have, this is like, you have a foundation that you built for yourself, and now is the time to use it. You know, if you buried a gold brick in the backyard, dig it up. You know what I mean? That type of thing. So I'm gonna pull a token for you. Hopefully round this out. What does Pisces need to know, Oracle? What does Pisces need to know about this? This is heavy stuff, man. What does Pisces need to know? What was that? Venus and the number 6. Okay. Okay, so you do have resources and you can create new ones, and the resources that you set aside can grow. Maybe you made a good investment in something and it's about to just balloon out, or it's like more than enough for you to do something new and move on. Love for yourself and love, like just having harmonious relationships with all those people around you, and not giving in to maybe anger if there is some interpersonal conflict here, not giving in to the angry feelings about it, but to you know, have an emotional victory for yourself, conquer your negative feelings about everybody involved, and just choose to move on. I'm not saying you need to forgive and forget, but for your own sake, don't carry around feelings that are going to give you a fucking ulcer. You know what I mean? Like, this is, I think you're dealing with some heavy stuff, and the last thing you need is to just make yourself sick with worry and negativity. You can call upon that Venusian energy. And like I mentioned, that I think that this was like a piece of rusted copper in the center of this plate here. And you know, Venus is represented by the metal of copper. So we do have some Venus like hiding in the reading here, like saying like, you know, I'm here, like the mother of reality, you know, she can help you. Like the sage knows when to take sustenance from his mother. That's a quote from the Tao Te Ching. And it's that infinite wellspring of love and abundance, spiritual abundance, physical and material abundance. It's there, and you know how to get it. I mean, you built something that succeeded. You know how to handle your resources, so like you're good. You just have to make sure you're not walking around on wet socks. So there's, you know, maybe this person, maybe there's just someone you need to spend some quality time with. You know, that could be the thing with this concubine, is like there's just some positive force, a positive person in your life that you should probably just spend some time with and take a break from all this stuff. Like your resources are safe. You just need to make a choice, move on with it, And don't like sit on your hands, like I said before, because now you need to act and do something, but you should also take time and just be with the person or people that you trust deeply and love, and just open up to them. You know, be vulnerable with them. Now would be a good time to just be yourself, not hide yourself. You know, there's a person whom you can trust that's in your life, and there's like this outpouring of love that you both can feel toward one another, and just process your emotions and dry out your wet socks. That's what I think. I think there's someone who can help you do that while you make the choice and move forward, recollect your resources and move on. So you got those 2 tasks to do. Don't get like lazy and complacent. Like, make the choice and pick a direction and do something. Call upon the resources, dig up that gold brick you buried, and make that choice while also spending quality time with this person and processing your feelings about everything. So you kind of got to multitask, find time to do those 2 things, and this situation will work out just fine. These are tough times for you, I can feel that. But I also feel that you're a very, very strong person, and that this will just be a memory pretty soon, and you'll be fine going down the road. So Pisces, I hope there was some insight here. I know this was a heavy one. Don't shoot the messenger, please. But thank you so much for hanging out with me. I always appreciate you stopping by. I hope this was insightful, or at least entertaining for you. And I wish you all the best, I really do. And I'll see you next time.